guys, buckle up for the third season of ANUBHAV. My name is Benita Thakur, Junior Coordinator of Brand Excel, and I'll be your host for the second episode of ANUBHAV Season 3. In the previous season of ANUBHAV, we discussed how to choose your specialization with insights from various industry experts. Moving ahead on similar lines, this year we decided on a theme which is currently creating a buzz among SIMS students, which is the summer internship. So, for the second episode of season 3, we have with us our very own alumnus from MBA batch 2019 to 2021, Mr. Abhishek Tomar, who's currently working at Sify Technologies Ltd. Along with him, we have Mr. Meghani from MBA batch 2020 to 2022, who is currently positioned as Associate Consultant at INFOSYS. We welcome you aboard and heartily thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. So, without any further ado, let's dive right in. My first question is to you, Abhishek, sir. Please let us know about your SIP experience. How did you land up there, and how SIMS helped you to achieve the same?
About my internship experience, I worked with Multifit Wellness, which is a multinational fitness chain. Over there, the reason why I wanted to work in that sphere or in that market was because I have a lot of interest aligns. So that's why I joined there. They came to SIMS. The things they were who has little bit of experience in digital marketing and social media marketing. Now SIMS helped me achieve that internship. I would say the work that I did as a branding cell coordinator helped me a lot, because I was doing pretty much the same thing here that I was doing there. So that helped me a lot. Then I participated in a few competitions also. So that also added up. And SIMS, as you all know, has been promoting participating in events, participating in B school competitions a lot, especially our director, sir. He motivates a lot. So that is one thing that also helped me. And then my experience with branding, so obviously I would give a lot of credit to that. While working there, I was taking care of the content part. I was taking care of the creative things. I learned about that, helped me a lot get that internship.
The next question is to you, Abhishek, sir. What was your experience and role once you joined your SIP company, and what role should a management intern expect from SIP?
So I'll answer the second question first. So a management trainee or anybody who's looking for an internship or even for their job, for the final placements, they should keep in mind what their interests are, and accordingly they should plan that this is the sector I would want to work in. Because if things excite you and you're passionate about them, then you can do work would be a lot more fun than it would be otherwise if you're working in a field that doesn't interest you. So this was my thought process while I was looking for an internship. And this is something that every other management trainee or an individual should keep in mind while they're looking for their jobs, or they are planning to look for a SIP company. These are some of the things that they should keep in their mind. Other than other aspects are also there. Which sector is doing good? So now we see data center, cloud. These are the sectors which are on a high, and then product side roles, SaaS companies. So you can keep that in mind as well, that this is a sector that is going to do good going forward. So they could look for companies of that sort and keeping their interest aligned. Keeping that in mind, this is something that I want to do for my entire life. You cannot decide that for your internship, but at least you should know that this is something that excites me. So this is something that they can keep in mind. Talking about my internship experience and what my role was. So I was hired as a digital marketing intern there. And as I told you before, my internship took place in COVID. So those were very challenging circumstances. But my role involved, my responsibilities were handling all the social media platforms of theirs, creating content for them. I got exposure about paid marketing, how SEO is done, and how we analyze about the analytics part of a marketing campaign. Because doing a marketing campaign is well and good, but knowing what results you're getting out of it is very important. That's how you analyze it. So those were some of the things that I got exposed to. I learned about those things in the 3 months that I was with them, and it was a very good experience because I saw many of my batchmates, their internships were revoked, but my company was they were very helping, and they supported the summer internship program very nicely. They did not let situation hamper the program as it was supposed to take place. There were some changes, but it was a very enriching experience. I learned a lot. I think that was new was the paid aspect of it, because in SIMS we were doing only organic internship, sorry, organic marketing, and over there we were taking help of the paid channels as well.
So my next question is to you, Meet sir. Could you please give us an opinion on which company should be preferred for SIP as a marketing professional, a startup or a well-established company?
That's a very good question. And I'm sure a lot of people are confused between these two. So again, as Abhishek Raji pointed out, it all boils down to your interest and the market dynamics. But in my opinion, there are two kinds of people. The first who are sorted ones who know which company they want to target and what roles they're looking for, and like they're totally structured in their approach. And the second kind of people are the ones who like to dare, who like to take the risk, and as the saying goes, high risk, high reward, right? So if the risk is high, say for those people, startups make sense because again, the startups are kind of a risky affair because the rules are not properly defined, and again, the hierarchy is not structured. But again, then you have to put your, I mean, you have to be in different roles. Sometimes you have to be a marketing manager. Sometimes you have to um, control the finances of the company or operations and stuff. So there's a lot to learn for those people, right? So the latter part, the latter kind of people obviously would want to go into a startup where there is a lot of growth, a lot of learning. No matter, I mean, they don't care about the structure, they don't care about if it is paid or unpaid. They just want to learn the skills that are in the industry. And for the first part, the structured ones, sorted people who are like totally sorted in their life, they know their goals and everything, they know the dream companies. Uh, these kind of people have experiences in their own fields and they're constantly seeking those kind of companies. And I'm sure they already have a small or narrow list of companies and they already would have applied to those companies. And there are fat chances that they would get their internships from those. So again, it's your choice if you want to learn a lot, um, play different roles in a company. So you definitely go for a startup. And if you want a structured, a limited, and a very systematic kind of job, you should go for a big establishment where all the hierarchies and systems are already established.
That was very well answered, sir. So for my next question, I would like to ask Abhishek, sir, that how have your interests in various fields helped you during the interviews of your summer internship?
How have my interests helped me during my summer internship? My interests have always helped me in various aspects, not just during the summer internship, also during my placements. I've been very passionate about sports. I have done a lot of sports quizzing throughout my life. Have won. I was lucky enough to win a few competitions. And I've participated in multiple competitions. So I've been following sports for a long time, and that's why I chose to work at an organization which was working in the same sector. I wanted to get an exposure how the sports, it wasn't directly sports, it was into fitness, but there was some links to it because they were sponsoring teams like Puneri Paltan, they were sponsoring Bangalore Bulls. These are well-known kabaddi teams. Then they were sponsoring ISL teams. So I get an exposure about regarding that. I was able to work with those teams, their creative teams, their marketing teams. They would give us some feedbacks. That's why I chose to work in that field. This is how my interest helped me there. Other than that, I had won a few competitions also that also added to my CV, because there were talking points that I had while I was discussing, while my interview was going on. I was able to highlight upon those points. And from that, they would ask you questions, because how is your interview going to happen? They are going to ask you about, either you are going to drive an interview or they are going to drive your interview. And that's going to get decided in the very first, I would say in 2 or 5 minutes, that's going to be decided, because they have a CV in hand and you're going to give your introduction. And if you're telling about your interest and you've pointed out things that you like, and then they would ask you questions regarding that. So you should put up things which you are good at, and then go prepared. That if you're going for an internship, then go prepared for all the questions, or at least things that you have mentioned in your CV, because obviously they're going to ask about it. And they're not just going to ask you, they're going to grill you about those questions, because from questions there would be cross questions. And if you're able to impress them with your knowledge in whatever field it may be, it could be in varied fields, it could be in arts, it could be in management, it could be in sports, anything, regardless of the field, if you are able to tell them that this is something that excites me, and I follow it properly, then that shows that this individual, if he puts his mind to something, then he's going to deliver, and he's willing to put those hours into it, which are required to succeed for any individual. So that's how my interests have helped me during my internship process. And I would say everybody to align their interest in a manner that they help them. Like, you can go for B school competitions, that adds to your CV, that shows that this individual was proactive. And in management, especially for management students, it's very important to be proactive, to be at your heels at all times, be ready on your toes. And this is something that is important. If you yeah, that's it.
Um, that was again a deep and well answered question. And I know that our students will get a lot of help from this. So for my next question, I'll ask you, Meet sir, that how did you use your skills from SIP to bag your current role at Infosys? And what should be the skill set that a student should develop to be corporate ready?
Right, again, difficult question. So my SIP role was digital marketing in a startup. So the skills required for that is again a knowledge of creating content in terms of creatives, the technical knowledge of SEO, SEM, paid marketing, and all that stuff. I designed even websites and packaging for the company as well, and was briefly handling the digital space for them. So these are the skills that were required in my summer internship. These are on the face skill set, but what lies behind is important. So again, my Infosys placement and the roles offered are totally different from what I did in my summer internship, but there are connections. And the skills that are connecting those two experiences are, first of all, taking initiative. Taking initiative is one of the most important skills that the companies are looking for. Communication is one of the key skills. And then again, as Abhishek rightly pointed, that if given a task, is the candidate able to cope up with the pressure, or has the candidate the potential to complete that task, the enthusiasm and the hard work and diligence. These are the skills which you learn during a summer internship, because again, the environment is not a controlled environment. Everything is variable there. And you will be given opportunities and you will be thrown into situations which are difficult for you. So these skills develop inside you and you shine at those environments. And these are the particular skills which you take from your summer internship and present it to your interviewers during your placements. And of course, they will grill you. They will ask you about the situations where you use everything that you know. And that's when you tell them that I was into this particular situations, and this is how I got out of that situation. And these are your selling points, and these are the particular things that your recruiters are looking for. So if you're able to present these skills successfully in front of them, you are inside the company, you are hired. And that's the basic mantra that you have to learn. Due diligence and just be there. Just do it, even if you don't like it, because in the end it will work for you.
Okay. So my next question is to you, Abhishek sir. Since digital marketing and social media marketing are gaining popularity these days among the young managers, so having worked in the field of social media marketing yourself, could you please elaborate how people can acquire internships in this particular field and which internship to focus upon?
So the things that any management student should look at or focus upon would be the basic concepts of digital marketing. He should know about things. He should know about a little bit about how campaigns are run, how SEO is done, what Google trends are, things of that sort of nature. And then this would help them in their interview process. They would be able to answer, and that would show that they have interest in that and they really want that internship. And because there won't be a lot of knowledge at that point of time, since they are very new, organizations are also not expecting that you would be knowing a lot of things, because they know at initial stage, if you know little bit also, then they can work upon you and they can teach you a lot of other things. So these are some of the things that they should know. They should know about basic things and be prepared, and also know what campaign was good. They should have an eye for things like which advertisement is doing good, and then have an analytical approach about it, why it is doing good, question that why, and that obviously helps you, and that broadens your thinking, and you are able to think about it in different aspects. And once you start analyzing, that is going to help you with the thought process, and eventually that would help you secure an internship there.
Thank you so much for the answer, sir. Since we are sharing our experiences or Anubhav, so in continuation to that, let's have some fun Anubhav from your SIMS days. So for our next and final segment, we have a fun round, wherein I'll be asking you a few light-hearted questions, which will require you to go down the memory lane of your SIMS Anubhav. So shall we start?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. So my first question is, were you ever fined at SIMS? And if yes, then which one was the heftiest?
Abhishek said he
Meet,
goes first.
yeah. So, as Meet knows, I've been fined multiple times, but I don't think it was a very hefty sum. I've been fined 250, 500, that's it. But I've been fined multiple times for not having the ID card or going at time. Once the entire class was fined for being late. So not many fines, but a few instances. And I had to pay, I think 250 at our time, they used to take 250 rupees.
Currently, it's 500.
Yes. So probably I was fined only once. I was masks were mandatory during that time, and I was in the academic building, and
You
my
guys were
mask
in the
was down.
mask era, na? Yeah.
Right. So I was not wearing my mask, and I was using my phone in the academic building.
My next question is, which one was your favorite spot on campus and why? We'll start with you, Abhishek sir.
Meet. Okay. So I love, we used to hang out a lot in the cage. We would do assignments and then we'll chill there. If we are talking about the campus, otherwise there were other places which we always wanted to go and could be found on weekends. And also one place that I love to hang out was, I was in NBH, and my room was 108, and we had a group which we called as champions. So we would call it as champion space, those three rooms, 107, 6 and 5. And we would hang out there. So I loved hanging out there as well, because all my friends would come up and we'll sit in a room and we'll chill. So that was champion space.
Okay.
Nobody knows about it apart from me and my close friends.
Okay. You can even tell us about the
Yes.
other sports which are not on campus.
we every whoever has been to SIMS, he could be from the first batch till the 25th, 26th batch. Everybody so we are no different. I enjoyed going to Sati. Meet enjoyed. Did you meet
Yeah. Yes, I did. I think
Sati?
there
Sati
were.
was one place we enjoyed. Sati is a official SIMS hanging out place.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
it is. For me, my favorite spot was not academic building, not cage. Um, it was not in SIMS technically, but if you walk like 5 minutes steps out of SIMS, there's a playground, basketball court. So anybody could find me there whenever I was missing. So I used to play basketball there alone for hours and hours. And evening time, it was obviously the whole team time. And yeah, that was my favorite spot. Apart from that, there were spots in MBH as well. So 309, room 309, and my room 315. So these two were my hanging spots. And again, the fourth floor was totally a different world altogether, even for now, I guess. So it has been a ritual for the fourth floor to be um, a bit different from other floors. And again, Sati and Symphony were the two places everybody would hang out in the weekends. And after a rigorous basketball match, or maybe a thing to do, yeah, these are my favorite spots.
So that was it about questions. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Your words were so insightful, and I'm pretty sure our listeners will benefit a lot from the same. Thank you so much once again for your invaluable insights on summer internships. I would also like to thank our audience for spending this time with us. If you like this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe with your friends and family or with someone whom you think might benefit from it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Sims Official and Sims Branding Cell on Instagram as well. This podcast was brought to you by Sims Branding Cell, and this is your host, Vanita Thakur, signing off.